Pilate now sentences Jesus to death, Matthew 27:24 through 26. When Pilate realized he wasn't getting anywhere, that the riot was starting, he washed his hands in front of the crowd. Pilate's washing his hand and saying, "It's out of my control. Personally, I wish Jesus no harm, but the things have happened. Yet the power and responsibility doesn't rest with me." And he was looking for a clever way to release a prisoner with the thing with Barabbas, and he could not escape what was going to eventually happen. And we see it echoed throughout history in many of the creeds, crucified under Pontius Pilate. "I am innocent of this man's blood," he said. "It's your responsibility." Hidden in Pilate's attempt to justify himself, he declares Jesus innocent again. He said, "And I am innocent." Well, if you were innocent, you would take and have done your proper role. The people answered, "Let his blood be on us and our children." They really had no understanding of what they were asking for. They really didn't understand the glory of Jesus, the cleansing blood, and what it would do, and what it would do for their children. They looked at, we'll take the guilt. And they didn't understand the enormity of executing the sinless Son of God. So Pilate satisfied the crowd, releasing Barabbas, and who had been put in prison for rebellion and murder, but he had Jesus whipped and handed him over to be crucified. The goal of the scourging, according to the American Medical Association, was to weaken the victim to a state just short of the collapse and death. So Romans reportedly struck the victim's back with full force, with pieces of iron, with pieces of glass, with sharp barbs. The leather thongs and sheep bones would cut into the skin and right down to the bone. Then as flogging continued, the lacerations would tear, and you could see the skeletal muscles, and there would be profuse bleeding and quivering. The pain and blood was generally enough to shock the circulation to the extent the blood loss would not have the victim survive very long on the cross.